Yo guys, what's going on? Welcome back to another weekly forecast slash breakdown. And before we get started, let's quickly run through the VIP results and quickly break down the trades that we took last week. So if we quickly talk about what we were expecting last week from the last week's forecast, you can see that we had a big 1,000 sort of pip run here from the interest rate decision. And we were expecting a sort of retracement back down towards around about 2,600 before price starts pushing up. But we ended up getting that somewhere around about here, which was about 26, 23. And on Monday, you can see on Tuesday was a break-even sort of trade. And if we sort of look at that, you can see that price was running in this sort of channel here and pushing down. And we were expecting for price to push a bit lower. So I was thinking that, all right, okay, since price was pushing up here, maybe we can get a potential sell going down. But this was my invalidation area. So if we go and mark up this there and write a swing point, if price breaks above here, I'm switching to bullish bias. And guess what happened? Yes, price did end up pushing above here, so this switched to my bullish bias, and then I just waited for price to retrace, and then that would have been a potential buy position, which we did take, and managed to get gold back to break even on Tuesday. Right, so now since gold is in a bullish bias, all I waited for was to see if price retrace back down to this area, and then this is where my buy positions would be with SLs below the low. The reason why my SLs are below this low is because this is now the new swing point. If price breaks below this means that gold is bearish again, right? So you can see that price ended up tapping here. We ended up getting a nice 100 pips, and that was our Wednesday sort of trade that we took here with the 0.5% because we took half. Then price came back down again for Thursday. Now in this occasion, I basically told the VIPs to move their SLs back towards the original position because this is still a swing trade. Just the risk has now decreased because we've taken half, but the second position was activated, which was around about 26.40, and this position was still sent into the VIPs, and into the free channel. So if you guys managed to profit on this, don't forget to comment in this under this video and let me know how your trade went, and also don't forget to like this forecast because this will really help me sort of keep growing. Anyway. Then, once price came back on Thursday, we ended up getting dragged for both positions up to around about 200 to 300 pips, and that was a fantastic trade there. As you can see, we managed to catch for about 4% because both trades sort of got taken up 200 pips each, which was around about 400 pips. So I ended up taking half again, probably took about a bit more than half, and then what price ended up doing was it still gave us another retracement on NFP, and in this case, it did take us out at entry because I was expecting for price to sort of continue up with NFP, but we didn't get that. NFP gave us a big drop here, obviously we'd already taken out the previous daily high here on Friday, and then price took out the previous daily low and then traded back within the range. And there was a reason why I didn't enter a buy here, because I saw this as a potential bearish move here where price would just push up and push back down and continue, but we ended up getting a big wick here, which you can see price pushed up and then came back into this range to close bearish. So now we're in a bit of a tricky situation here, whereas you can see that on the hour time frame, gold is still closed within this box here. So this is obviously following that 1 hour fair value gap that you have here. You got a little one below there, so I just sort of extended it across both of them. And price is still closed here. Price is now closed above broken a previous high again, and now this is classed as a retracement. So going into next week, can we see a bullish move push above from here? Potentially we can on Monday. Price can continue climbing up to take out this high, and these highs here to eventually target 28.85. But that's exactly what NFP did. It took us out of the trade, and now we're basically have to look to enter again, which is not a problem, but it's part of the process. We're learning here with swing trades. Perhaps we could have taken all our profits before NFP, but we're new to swing trading here, and we're just sort of working on it and seeing how it goes. Remember, based on this whole move here from this low to this high, if we mark that and then go to ITT here, as you can see, we've got 50% is still not being retested, so price is still not basically gone down to around about 50% discount from this overall pump that we're watching here. So I still do see that price could potentially push down, but it all depends on what happens on at the start of the week. If we look at the news events here, we have FOMC minutes on the 9th. The week starts on the 7th, so that's Wednesday. We have yes, a good old inflation rate CPI on Thursday, so that'll be an interesting day. And then on Friday we have PPI and Michigan consumer sentiment. So I'd say Thursday is your main day. Wednesday is going to be a day that will potentially set up a CPI trade, so I'll be watching that. So I'm going to be ignoring the start of the week. I want to see exactly what price wants to do at the start of the week to confirm, because right now, yeah, it's gone to that area where it's a bit indecisive at the moment. So I need clear price action. So again, we want to see exactly what price does. If it wants to continue pushing higher, yes, then we'll continue looking for retracements to attack this high here. Otherwise, if price wants to sort of consolidate and start pushing back towards the lows again, then we're likely to see price continue and start pushing back below these equal lows here. And we have at 26.21 and potentially target that 2600. Once price gets to here, this is where I'll be looking for another bullish setup here. Because why? Because we've retested around about that 2600, which once we broke out, we never came back towards it, and we are below 50%. So you can see that right there. So prices are now below that 50% area. So that is more of a discount to get into buys, which increases the probability as well. And you can see based on all of this consolidation, we can get a nice swoop in trade back up. So there's plenty more setups for swing trades. So don't be sort of disheartened. There's going to be loads of setups. And obviously gold is in a different sort of mode these days compared to how it was when we were below 2000 or below 1700. So yeah, gold is in a new mode. We just basically had to sort of capitalize on it and wait and basically avoid this sort of manipulation. So that's pretty much it based on this sort of weekly forecast on gold. Let's have a quick look at US30, because yes, we have quite a lot of lines on here. I have not removed them, but I'm just sort of still doing some sort of back testing on this and trying to understand how this thing moves, because yeah, it is all over the place. You cannot make a specific sort of strategy based upon this. Is a lot of things to take into consideration, and we are still trying to work on it. But based on a higher time frame, it can be still possible to give your sort of weekly forecast on this. So you can see that we have these equal lows here, but price has failed to push below these, and now price is starting to push up. So the main target would be this key high right here. So you want to see what happens around here. If price continues to push up and fails to break any structure, then yes, that's getting targeted. However, if price wants to sort of break some structure and then retest, then yeah, we're going back to these lows. So you have liquidity on either side here. It's going to be very interesting to see what happens, but I'm sure the CPI will potentially clear all of those. But again, looking over here, we have a big pump from this low to this high. Similar sort of thing that we have on gold. This is how I tend to sort of look at where price is. It's quite high at the moment. So we would really like to see price sort of push back down. And with the whole war stuff that's going on, potentially we could see US30 start to give us a little pullback here before another sort of pump. But right now, doesn't really want to do that. Looking at the daily time frame, you can see we have a lot of daily fair value gaps here. So that is something to keep an eye on. But yeah, USA just tends to keep pushing back up. Even if it wants to push down, it just wants to pump back up the next day. So still working on it. Stay safe on US30, because nothing is as it doesn't seem, obviously with my sort of skill set at the moment, not as good on US30 as I am on gold, because gold's been my guy since 2-3 years. So that's pretty much it. Yeah, looking at this 4-hour time frame, look at this. No bodies are closing around here. It's just wicks. So I'm more favoring the upside at the moment. I still could see gold continue pushing up until if we push below 26.32. Yeah, that's when we're going back into bearish mode. But right now, keep looking for buys. Try attack these highs. Hey, that rhymes. It's been a waste. Peace out.